You would think making a sandwich is pretty easy. After all, what is there other than bread, cheese, meats, and a few vegetables? But really, making a sandwich is quite difficult. I mean, think about even just the different names we have for sandwiches: sandwich, hero, a sub, a hoagie, a wedge, a po' boy, a blimpie, a grinder. Why so many names for such a simple thing? The reality is, it's actually a difficult process. And right now, at Lean Sandwich Shop, we're really making a grinder out of the whole process. Even with 12 employees, we have slow service. We still struggle to get food out in time. Some of the defects are caused by this slow process. We get scrapping of food, discarding of food, and expired ingredients. So, how should we fix this? I propose that we focus on the process. I think we should improve the process with the goal of 20% increased efficiency. The slow service with 12 employees, which is more than enough, results in things like cold sandwiches. We only produce 5 sandwiches per hour for each employee, and that's when we have no issues. That means 12 minutes per employee per sandwich. This causes a backup of orders, and within that process, we have certain tasks that cause bottlenecks. So our number one problem is cold sandwiches, about 37%. That definitely would be a process issue. In addition to that, we put wrong dressing, spoiled toppings, and wrong toppings. Now, some of these things could be related to other issues, but I believe a lot of this will be based upon process. And that essentially includes about 85% of all of our defects. So today, our process is this. For the most part, it's a fairly simple process. We record and deliver the order. Receive the order, select the bread. Add protein to sandwich. But if you notice right there, there are 5 sandwiches backed up. Next step, add vegetables to sandwich, and then place it in the toaster. We get 7 sandwiches backed up from that process. Then we wrap the sandwich. Again, another 3 sandwiches are backed up. Then we deliver to the customer. So we've got probably over a dozen sandwiches that are backed up in this process. We can see in this work balance table, clearly task 5 is a bottleneck. But in addition to that, what you'll see here is we've got an imbalance where some things take very little time and some things take a tremendous number of time. So we need to smooth this out and make sure that the process itself goes smoothly. Proposal is to change the assembly line to work cells. First step, record and deliver order with 2 employees. Second step, they deliver the order and receive it and select the bread. And that same person will follow it up with adding protein to the sandwich. There will be 2 employees that do this. Then they move it along to the next touch point. The next employee adds vegetables to the sandwich, then places it in the toaster. While it's in the toaster, that employee goes back and produces another sandwich and adding vegetables to that sandwich, then placing it in the toaster. Then when the toast is almost ready, the toaster timer will ring at 2 minutes to remind them that they need to take it out. So they get to finish what they're doing, go to the toaster, take it out, then move it along to the next step, which is wrap the sandwich. And after wrapping, they deliver it to the customer. So in this process, we only have 4 steps now. In addition to that, we can see that all of the items that they need are right there. So the bread rack is right near where they select the bread. The meat refrigerator is right near where they add the protein. The vegetable refrigerator is right near the vegetable sandwich prep table. And the wrapper storage is right near where the person is wrapping the sandwich. So what do we get out of this? Potentially, and what we're expecting is that the process cycle time is reduced by 40%. We get to use 9 employees instead of 12, And each of those employees can produce 7 sandwiches per hour, which is under 10 minutes per sandwich. This process helps to make the flow consistent with reduced bottlenecks. The timers within that process, if you noticed, are there to reduce burnt sandwiches, which is another defect that we suffer from. Through this whole process, there are less handoff points, which I believe makes for less potential mistakes. And then finally, the properly positioned meat and vegetable refrigerators help to reduce the expired ingredients. Further, from a hard saving standpoint, I believe that we can save 164,000 in labor. And this really comes from 3 less employees required for sandwich processing. But in addition to that, we believe that there are potentially lower number defects because we only have 4 handling opportunities rather than the 7 that we have originally. In addition, the more efficient handling and faster production means less of our number 1 defect, cold sandwiches. And finally, the less waste that we get from less expired ingredients, which is from the refrigerators being placed in the right places. Upon implementation, we will track the process to make sure that we're going in the right direction. I believe we will have significant cost savings, but even more important than that, I believe we're going to have happier customers from faster service and better sandwiches. So we can stop the grind and really be their hero.